Hi guys, hope you're having a great day. If you didn't see, well, we're out of the playoffs, which means I'm on vacation, which means I'm back to streaming and making videos. So PogChamp to that. But, long story short, today's video is a live commentary that happened on Saturday between the NYXL and the Vancouver Titans. However, I just wanted to let you know that this video contains a lot of kind of conversations and topics that I brought up in yesterday's YouTube video. I talked about kind of how the Titans play their game, and a lot of the things that I talked about are continuations on the themes from that previous video. So I would very, very much recommend that you check that video out before you watch this commentary, as it will probably make much more sense, where I had more time to talk about the things that I just kind of mentioned in an offhanded manner during this video. Anyway, I hope you're having a fantastic day. Enjoy the video. Back at it again tomorrow with both streams and YouTube videos. Love you all. Have a great day. Enjoy. Let's go. This is the game we've been looking forward to. NYXL versus the Vancouver Titans. Playing around this drum, jockeying for a position. Bumper Suminsu gets knocked back from the whip shot there. Bumper's moving forward, gets the bubble. Mano being pushed back. The bubble comes out, but he doesn't get as much value from it as Bumper does, which is probably honestly going to be the story of the match. Vancouver maintains the position, and I think they got more ult charge out of that trade. Meko and Janu are dueling. This is actually more aggressive already than I've seen Janu play for quite a while here. Meko is going to be a lot more of an assassination-based style, and Janu is likely going to be kind of wanting to control him or at least keep track of him. And Janu playing differently from his normal playstyle does get him demech'd. Mano, however, is low. This drum is going to be a good way for them to kind of stabilize and prevent the opponent from being able to hard commit onto them. Rally coming out from NYXL right away is going to start this engagement. Libero's only 2% away, and that counter push should be successful so long as nobody dies during that rally, which they don't. Graviton also comes out. Trance is going to keep everybody alive, and this is a very even match so far. Bumper looking for a shatter. That's one blocked. NYXL's in the back line just trying to recover, not demand resources from his front line. And Bumper and Mano are trading. Mano gets the barrier. Bumper's in trouble. Trance comes out for the counter push. Nene has the grav, though, and I don't think that no, Slime does have the barrier. Is he going to be able to apply that to NYXL in time? He does. Meko's in trouble. He went for that assassination in the grav, and he gets low. Bomb comes out, and Janu finally drops. Janu looking to be the weak point in this match just off of the first fight. Not enough information to tell. Suminsu in trouble, getting knocked back. He's 1 HP. Can anyone finish him off? They can, and New York's getting the advantage with Janu gone. Meku can just control that drum and finally push past the halfway mark, and they are going to take this first cap. Nice job, New York. Nice job. So far, the most interesting part of this matchup is the duel between Meko and Janu. Meko, a very aggressive, interesting positioning, kind of like a slippery diva, and Janu is extremely passive, a very unique playstyle amongst top Overwatch League teams. And looks like Janu is moving outside of his playstyle, outside of his comfort zone, to try and control Meko and allow Twilight to pop off a little bit. But so far, it didn't work out for them. The rally coming out from Libero doesn't get that value, which means that Vancouver Titans is going to have the advantage, not only with the rally, but also with the Graviton. No activation on the rally so far. Transcendence comes out from Jonak. Are they going to rally to maintain tempo after that Transcendence ends? They do. There it comes. Bumper looking for the hammer. Graviton comes out as well, which is going to allow them to defend from the hammer, but I don't think that's going to be enough. NYXL actually drops. Bomb coming out. Bumper drops as well, and I think New York is going to take the second team fight as well. Okay. Pretty close to a swap there, which would have been really nice in terms of hemorrhaging the bleeding that is going on with this fight here. But Vancouver Titans, they've got both support ults as well as Bomb coming up close. They are actually leading the ult economy game, with Animo having the barrier there. So how are they going to play this? They don't have Rally for the initiator. They do have Bomb coming up. They could try and just do like a trade in the neutral and then push it off of Bomb, which is probably the most likely play here. Very, very unlikely that they go for like a hyper aggro play with a support ultimate, knowing that this is the last fight and they'll need those to defend the farther attacks after there. New York actually going pretty aggressive here, so they trade barrier for Trance. Grav and Bomb are still available. There's the grab onto Manu. Suminsu's trying to isolate. The charge doesn't connect, but it gets counterpinned. They still take him out, and Vancouver isn't going to go down without a fight. They do use their Trance, but they still have barrier, and they didn't have to use Bomb. They'll have Rally. Rallies are mirrored. Okay. So Nene's Grav. So Libero Rally matched by NYXL. And that will probably be grabbed by Nene. So Janu, again, it comes down to Janu. The win condition here for Vancouver Titans is basically for them to survive the Graviton by Janu screening it with the Diva Bomb. So Janu either has to eat this Graviton or not get caught in it. Meko's already split, scouting, looking for a flank. Nene's looking for this Graviton. There's a lot of pillars where he can place it. John, who's already playing very split off, turning 180 degrees, looking to try and isolate Bumper and take him out. Barrier has dropped. Vancouver Titans. There's the Graviton come out. Bumper's already down. Where's the bomb from Jono? He hasn't used it. He was in the... Oh, no, that's Meko's bomb. Okay, he's still up, but Haxel's in a lot of trouble. I think he's going to go down. Bomb from John, who doesn't find anything. Meko's back onto the point, and this is just going to be a stall situation for Vancouver Titans, but it looks like New York is going to be going up 1-0 on Busan so far. Bumper's back, though. They drop the barrier. No other ultimates except for Graviton online from Suminsu, but it gets eaten by Meko, and that, I think, is going to be the final nail in the coffin that is this map. Nice. This is the Overwatch we came to see. This is the Overwatch we came to see. Good stuff. It was worth it. It was worth it. Watching the Shock Spark match to watch this. This is good. This is good. Yes. Good Overwatch. Interesting. John, who is an extremely good D.Va player. I did not expect after the first map to be kind of like pointing him out as the weakness in the Vancouver Titans. Interesting. So very, very interesting. Okay, here we go. How are they going to fight this? Meet in the neutral. What is your neutral play? Who's going to take the high ground? Who's going to drop to point? That's the question. Mano already taking the half. Vancouver's going to rotate their backline onto the high ground. Where are you going, Twilight? Oh, just destroying Libero. Okay. We are going forward, not backwards. Just going to go farm Meko. It's too bad we didn't get to see how Libero actually dropped there. From above. Man, Jonak is out for blood. That's going to be a lot of ult charge for him, too. Okay. Ult charge is still low enough that this is basically going to be a second neutral. It's just we're going to have to see rollouts in the neutral, which is probably a confusing sentence to people who don't watch pro. But anyway. Okay. New York does manage to get out of the cubby, but they still haven't really got their backline away from that wall yet. Into the Mega Room. This is a good place where they can stabilize, then push out and try and actually make some space here. Bumper's just floating around, looking for an angle, not wanting to use any of his resources, while the New York Excelsior themselves kind of restabilize here. Hoxel has the rally. Tried to bait the bubble, fire strike the wall. What's the engagement trigger going to be here? New York going back to this very passive playstyle. Hammer from Bumper does land. And the great thing here... Oh, I thought it was Libero's rally, but it was in Hoxel's rally. That would have been, like, insanely good if it was Libero's rally that was used there and then Vancouver won. But that's too bad. We also didn't really get to see how the hammer connected either. I'm not sure if it was a stun shatter or what. Okay, so Vancouver controlling this one. They just kind of let the last one get away from them. A speed shatter. That's what that one was. So amped speed allows him to find an angle faster than Mono can react. Very aggressive Graviton from Suminsu. This is a very standard thing to see from him. Extremely aggressive. They do it before Divas even really kind of like think about trying to attempt to eat it. They didn't get any value out of that. Normally, if they get some value out of it in like a pin player or something, they can charge the rest of their ultimates off of just kind of like cleaning up and chasing them back to spawn. But that didn't work out, so they gained less advantage than they would have liked there. Suminsu a little bit far separated. Graviton is online here, and a big shatter from Mono is going to finally get New York on the board. Okay. So this is looking very similar to the last map, except actually in reverse. Boom. That wasn't a speed shatter, it wasn't a boop shatter, stun shatter, it was just a shatter. Okay, Meko on this high ground. Now New York is going to try and... Are they going to really try and stop? Vancouver is just like, nah, this is our space. Immediately expands their backline. There's the Graviton. Bomb to try and screen. Is that going to be enough? It is going to be enough to find or keep them alive, which is all they really needed. But they also used Transcendence, so that was quite two really good ultimates to kind of counteract the Graviton and the barrier. It is going to find Jonak. That's really going to be such a huge kill alone. And then the charge, as well as the whip shot, He's going to take out Libero, and this should be all she wrote for New York. So New York looked good on the first map, but Vancouver definitely clapping back on this second one. And we're going to be going to a third and final map on Busan.
We're going to have a tied situation on our hands. 1-1. The Titans, they got rocked on the first point, but they show that they are definitely here to play in the semifinals of stage 2.
Is Dallas just content with making it to playoffs? And why did you pick up Trill?
Well, if this is a preview of what the entire map
Ask questions I can answer.
7 maps today. In our first to 4, of course, we have a draw possibility here. That's why it's not a best of 7. First team to win 4 maps definitively will be going to our
Okay.
finals against the
Mecha Base. What's going to happen here? So they're going to both roll out top. Are they going to fight on the right side? Probably. Vancouver Titans will push the high ground first, gain ground, and rotate. New York will try and force them to point, but they won't do it, and they'll fight at that first corner above the high ground. That's my prediction. They're going to fight at the half. Vancouver's going to take the half and go aggressive. New York is going to back and try and funnel Vancouver towards the point. Oh, Vancouver doesn't want to be funneled. Bumper's low. Okay. They don't want to be funneled, but they're kind of being pushed back. Mecho's mech gets broken. So they just push that off of Mecho's mech getting broken. Okay. Yeah, so like what I thought was going to happen is Vancouver's aggression kind of like pushed New York back. And then in that situation, what you want to kind of do is just allow the Vancouver Titans to take the point because it's, although it provides objective pressure, it's a positional disadvantage. But Vancouver Titans broke Mecho's mech, so they're just like, you lose now, and press W. There's Grav already being answered by Trance. Nene 40% away from his. So yeah, like you can see, they got off the point, are already back up onto the high ground. Now there's this kind of like very weird situation. Mecho, once again, knocked off by Haxel's whip shot. And then Jonak drops. New York, where was the spice we saw in the first one? Bring it together. Refocus. Refocus. You can do this. You've got Shatter. You've got Grav. You've got Beat. The opponent may or may not have 2 defensive support ultimates, but I believe in you, New York. I believe in you. Okay. So you can see in the top right, Janu is scouting. Mecho sees the scout. They go back to the top, and that is going to just go fast enough that they can get their backline out of the choke. That's fine. Vancouver doesn't really care. Bumper shatters. I don't know if it hit because we weren't watching it. But looks like Vancouver Titans got counter-shattered and no kills being able to come out of that because of Twilight's Transcendence. There's the Graviton, but that one's going to be answered by Beat, and it's going to be screened by Janu's bomb. Mano's shield is so low. Mano's going to have to be removed from the fight. Suminsu drops. Libero is in a very dangerous position, but I don't think Vancouver Titans actually knows that he's there. Oh, Slime sees him. Janu gets demeched. Janu gets killed. There's so many important things happening off screen. It's unfortunate. Okay, so they do kind of go onto Libero, but they're going to lose in the meantime. Unlucky, my dude. This is just a reset. Yeah, Bumper's like, reset! Just pieces off the cliff with Mecho. This has been a sad bit of a T-Tours map. We haven't seen the critical things happening. Unfortunate. Plush cap? You try and read as many as I can. I just don't read them during games. Okay. Where's Vancouver holding? Vancouver's holding on the point because they want to get the cap. They force the drop. They grab early. There's the bomb again for screen. That wasn't Johnny's bomb. That was Mecho's bomb. Rally comes out from Hoxall. Libero's rally is also active. Mano's shield once again is low. Bumper gets stunned out and killed. Jonak just kicked him in the face. Grav comes out. Suminsu is in it. Not going to survive. New York holds on one more time. I definitely don't think Mono looks as strong as people were expecting. Yeah. Vancouver Titans, one of the things that they are good at is being aggressive, but still like micromanaging their resources. Managing the amount of damage that they take and maximizing the damage that they put out. So Mono is like consistently running out of resources in a fight, whereas Vancouver Titans does a much better job of managing it and ping-ponging it. Are Vancouver Titans going to try and do it again, force the fight on point by dropping, or are they going to try and control this high ground? There's the bubble, there's the shatter, finds Haxall, nice, and Jonu. Okay. That was barrier and shatter though, right? Okay, so they still got 2 defensive support ultimates. Vancouver Titans will have 5 ultimates for this fight. This will be the last fight. So New York has defensive ultimates. You know, they could try and use their bomb here. Sumansu is going to have grab first, though, which is going to use... Oh, this is winnable for New York. This is very winnable. 3-1 fights in a row. And Vancouver is deciding to take point. They're not trying to fight this high ground. Twilight's in trouble. Meko forced Twilight's trance out. Goodness, that's so massive. This grab has to get so much value. Okay, Mano. His trance is out. Bomb once again to screen. Meko is consistently using this bomb to screen these gravitons off. So there's the rally. The barrier just ended. Shatter comes out, finds 2, I believe. Mano's dead. Libero's going to drop. God damn, Vancouver. Wow. Oh, my God. New York was playing. New York deserved that one, too. Oh.
About as close as it gets. We are in for an edge.
Oh.
Heck of a series between 2 of the best teams we have here in
Wow. So actually, yeah, Meko is outplaying the fuck out of Jonu right now. Meko forced trance earlier. Like, he's just... Wow. Meko is playing really well. Like, forced the trance out of Twilight to start that fight, and they still lost.
And then Twilight on the defense is going to play the Ana, formerly playing Zen. Okay, Jonex in the switch. Twilight's Ana has been great. He's been untouched on this Ana a lot of the time, and so much focus has to go into Ana.
Okay.
Hit sleep darts,
Vancouver not dropping. Now they drop. They just wanted to stay long enough for Bumper to land a 6-man fire strike. Just look at Bumper's ult charge. Look at Bumper's ult charge. On luck. That's a major feels bad, man. Okay. Yeah, that's definitely a Twilight need. Twilight is just like... He just never seems to give the remotest anything about, like, using his cooldowns with, like, the proper efficiency. He just, like, uses them. He will use them occasionally, not for the betterment of his team, but for, like, trying to go for an assassination on a backline. If the flex support is available. Yeah, he will constantly just go for, like, little flanks and use it off cooldown. The mind of Twilight's Ana is an interesting one. Okay. New York keeps this bus moving. Nothing happened to OG. Ba-da-ba-ba. Okay. What are you guys gonna do? Yes, show me more Twilight Ana. Going for the flank. Flank out. Huge shatter. There's the grav coming out. Do they have a defensive support? Nope. Ooh, nice shatter from Mono. Twilight will probably swap Zen here. No real reason for him to be Ana. Ana is like a good... I don't want to go too much into like the Ana thing. Yeah, there's the swap to Zenyatta. Zen is just too good. And it's more of like an insurance pick against things like triple DPS. Even Winston goats, it can be better than a Zenyatta on defense. So it's kind of just like an insurance pick, and it didn't pay off for them. Graviton does find Mono. Bumper's going to go for the pin, but he gets booped by, I think, Onimo, so that doesn't connect. And now Vancouver is a little bit split and in trouble. New York playing this map pretty well. This was New York's pick, right? Sumansu trying to find Jonak. Gets stunned out. Barrier keeps him alive. Hoxel does manage to clear Nene off high ground. That was really good of Hoxel. Good stuff there. What are we waiting for? Is Nene waiting for Grav? Very interesting. Kind of like just wait there. There's the Grav. There's the pin from Mono taking Bumper out. this is not a situation that Vancouver Titans is really unfamiliar with, right? They lose bumper, they're down 1, they don't care. I paused. Damn, I'm going to have to refresh. I hit my keyboard so hard I paused. But they're down 1, and then they just drop beat. And that does force more ultimates out, but they're still not done. Okay. But, like, yeah, Titans just don't care. Yeah. The Vancouver Titans are no stranger to bumper being dead. I think that's the simple way of putting that one.
They're making great time. They are. Nearly 4 minutes in the bank right now. That's a lot of room to work with here.
Okay, this is a very, very brisk pace here. Nany on the high ground. Jono's going to knock him off. That's good. Titans, no ultimates. And, New York has rally. They can just rally here and really make Vancouver's life difficult. This is one of those times where that ult economy game is just not... You know, Vancouver Titans usually doesn't put much stock into ult economy just in general. But here, they are paying the price for that decision. They've got their ultimates online now, but that fight could have gone a lot worse than it actually did. What does screening mean? It's like putting up a screen that people can't do things through. So, like, if you drop a bomb in a specific area, like if you drop a friendly bomb on an enemy grav, it screens the opponents away from their own grav so they can't follow up on it. There's the hammer. He tries to land it in the sweet spot right in the middle of the grav, but I think the grav was actually on the ground and it doesn't connect. That is a screening bomb, right? Mecho's been doing that pretty much all series, just dropping the bombs defensively to prevent the enemy from being able to follow up on their grav. These kind of like weird, not weird, it's weird is kind of a strange way to put it, but these innovations or evolutions on how to play GOATs, when one team kind of like finds a new way to play rock paper, scissors, is kind of can change how the meta overall is played. So New York is obviously experimenting with a new way of using Diva Bomb. They're not using it for combo, they're using it for defense. That's a very simplistic way of describing what's happening, but you know what? It's good enough.
2 minutes still on the clock, though, for New York XL. They still have room to work with.
Okay. Stabilized a little bit. There's going to be an exchange of rallies once more.
And then he's got an ability we just call the boop, puts you out of position so you get behind the opposing Reinhardt, knock him into your team.
It's not screaming, it's screen. S-C-R-E-E-N. Okay. There's rally 1, there's rally 2, there's grav, there's trans. That's a very, very standard trade of ultimates. And Twilight gets mono. Okay. So yeah, that, like, this is another kind of like standard setup, is that originally, and in like contenders in general, like, how much emphasis over the last however many months has there been put onto like grav bomb combos, right? There's been a lot of emphasis on it. You know, the casters go crazy for it. In contenders, it's a super popular combo to practice and execute. Nice little kind of surprise shadow there. But teams are finding more and more ways, especially once grav bomb was powerful when nobody knew how to defend against it. But now that people know how to defend against grav bomb combos, people are finding different ways to use grav and bomb separately that have more value than using them together. So, Vancouver Titans' evolution on the meta within the meta of GOATs, that is grav bombs. Vancouver's evolution is to just pin lol forehead. It's a bit more complicated than that, but you know what? It's good enough. Whereas it looks like New York's evolution on the grav bomb is to use the bomb for like screening and for like defense instead of offense. 40 centimeters away. There's the grav. They don't have any defense here. Slime drops. Suminsu. Bumper not long for this world either. Can they get it to overtime? Overtime would be massive here, but Jono gets booped off, and they're going to finish with time.
They fought hard, Hex, but they weren't able to stop New York XL from picking up the maximum number of points.
So if Mecho's bombs are screening, how would you define Poco's bombs?
Haven't watched Poco. They're not in playoffs, and we don't face them, so I don't care about them. Hellball with the 200 bits says, Jayne streams as in as many days. I like this Uniforce. I hope you like me streaming, because I'm going to be doing it a lot. Run with the 1,000 bits. Thank you so much, my friend. The Kaiser with the Prime for 8 months. Run also with the Prime sub. Royfie with the Tier 1 for 6 months says, I'm happy to see you streaming right now. Who do you think does have the better backline, Titans or New York? Ooh, you know, like, every time I talk about the Titans, I stress that the Titans are not top tier because they have incredible prodigies on their roles. But Slime and Twilight are pretty fucking nuts. Like, I'm not sold on Animo as a top 3 main support. So I definitely think Slime and Twilight are the better backline. Do teams screen with their bombs this much? New York is the team. It happens occasionally, but New York is doing it differently and more often than other teams I've watched.
One of these teams will have to wake up bright and early tomorrow to play in the finals. We're in our semifinals. 1st to 4 map wins. We'll take it.
Statistically, Animo actually did perform better than Arc, which is the weird thing, because I never got that impression from watching it. But, like, statistically, Animo was the better main support. And, of course, this is all judging main supports without ever having heard how they actually comm, which, in my opinion, is probably the most important aspect of a good main support. What are we doing? Quad DPS? This isn't... So this Blizzard World is actually... This is not a troll. This is like a very, very valid attack strat on Blizzard World, and this is also one of the reasons why Vancouver Titans had Ana on the defense. So, like, yes, it's bumper on Hanzo, but it's because Jonu's the better ball, right? So, and New York has Zenyatta, right? So I wasn't paying attention, honestly, but I assume that Vancouver scouted the Zen and then swapped because of the Zen scout. They probably wouldn't... Oh! They probably wouldn't have done this if they scouted an Ana. Ooh, nice, Meko. Okay. Well, the caster just said that this composition is all about trying to get the EMP up, and I would disagree. The entire purpose of this comp is not only to just, like, bleed resources away from a team, which is normally based on sustain at a rate which they cannot sustain, but it's also using the ball to disrupt people into kill boxes where you can just take them out with just a ridiculous amount of damage that cannot be healed through. And then after that, if all else fails, then you have ultimates to destroy people in Snowball. And then after that, you swap to something else. So there's just, like, too much damage coming in that cannot be dealt with, and you can't deal damage in return. Like, just look at the damage. They have to use a Transcendence. There was no ultimate to cause that. It's just like there's such low healing compared to this damage being put out there that they need literally Transcendence just to not immediately die. So it's not a composition that requires a lot of skill. It's basically, as long as you don't mess up, you're going to win. And then here, Vancouver Titans, because they use their ultimates, which you don't always have to do in a quad or a triple DPS setup to win, they will swap. If they had ultimates, they would have gone for the Snowball, but they use them to win, which is totally fine, because they don't care. They're back to Zenyatta Goats. I don't know why the Titans, of all people, would decide to do triple or quad DPS when their Goats is more than good enough to win, but hey, you know what? To each their own, and I guess we'll never know. Jayne commentates alone because he is a weenie. He eats Animo. Unfortunate Lucio's dead, crab. Okay, I need to actually pay attention here because New York's winning. Vor Pog. Chat, you're weird. Chat. No. No. No, 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 no. No. Okay, no rallies, so how are we going to engage? Probably just a standard? Ooh, there's the bomb. Ooh, nice, New York. Fine, like, this is something that Spark was trying to do, but kept failing. like pretty significantly. But that, like, if you were kind of like wondering what Spark was attempting to do to Shock, it was that, right? So they didn't have the rally to engage, and Vancouver Titans didn't have a rally either. But Meko had the bomb, so they used the bomb as the way to kind of like gain an advantage. They threw it in, they pinned Mono, and because they didn't have, like, because it forces the enemy team to split, they just don't have the ability to keep them alive. Ooh, Slime looking for a boop. Did he find it? I can't tell if he found it, but you know what? The result was the same because Mano and Libero both drop. Meko's trying to contest that cart, but things going to keep moving. I'm pretty sure this is a slower pace than New York had, though. Okay, 2 support ultimates to 2 support ultimates, but Vancouver Titans has the big boys, and New York has the rally. Early grab. And is that a screening bomb this time from Janu as well? It is, but Bumper dies because he gets pinned out. So it's actually kind of funny. So New York and Vancouver Titans, the observation here is the fact that both teams have come to the conclusion, essentially, that grav pin combos are better than grav bomb combos. So you're seeing setups being executed in such a way that grav pins are the main and central focus, which requires a different set of responses in order to properly defend against it. So, and then we also saw Janu change his bomb style to be defensive as well. So both teams have kind of changed their style of grabs and bombs, but they've changed them in the same manner. Barrier comes out. He's going to pin right in. Gets Hoxel as well. New York. New York is jamming, man. New York is jamming.
No shatter now, and New York Excelsior have a Graviton Surge. They've got the counter to the opposing Graviton Surge, too, in a great spot to tie this series up. NYXL looking for it, holding high ground.
Just waiting. Yep, there we go. Spot them. Titans don't want to have anything to do with that. They're going to try and sneak their way over to the payload. But with the high ground here, this allows for Nene to
Okay.
like a border.
Last fight scenario, really. New York's in great position. Nene gets knocked off with a whip shot. That was pretty decent here. Hoxel's going to have rally. There's the push in and the bubble trade. Rally should come out pretty much now. No, Suminsu grabs first. There's Meko's bomb to screen. Bumper survives as well as Haxel does. There's Grav. John, who gets demeched and killed. Twilight's in there with Trance. He's still alive, but Suminsu drops as well. That's a lot of damage and a lot of defense, both gone. And I think we're going to have a 1-1 series. Interesting. Interesting. We have a game. We have a game. So, readjust your positions. I am going to stick to the opinion that it's going to remain a 4-1. I think it's still going to be a 4-1 because next map is 2CP, right? So I thought that New York was going to win 2CP. But now that it's Vancouver's pick, I think Vancouver's going to pick Hanamura and just dumpster New York on Hanamura instead of going to a different map. You still say Titans 4-3? I don't know. I think this could very possibly still be a 4-1. Titans have adjusted. New York played well, but they've kind of shown their cards now, and I think Vancouver was starting to figure it out. Couldn't get through that first part of second point. We'll see. 4-1 for New York. Okay, maybe. Who knows? Anything's possible. That tweet is a work of art, chat.
This is why we're starting to see them hold their own.
Typo no? Where's the oh God. We've messed up. We can't possibly have a bad tweet out there. Delete tweet. No. You didn't see anything. Makes me. Okay. There you go. Shh. Nobody saw anything. Did I put takes down? Did I typo again? No, I'm good. Not capitalized? It's fine. It's fine. It's like I typed it from my phone, okay? Don't ask questions. We are just missing Hanamura. Okay, retweet that so we can get on broadcast. We did go to Hanamura, though. That was my prediction, right? I knew that Vancouver would go to Hanamura. Oh.
It's really going to be about who gets back here faster because Bumper's now charging in, trying to rejoin his team. So you see the NYXL are taking a more defensive posture, waiting for their Dio player to come back in. There will be a fight 6v6 here. Ultimate's online.
Okay. Let's go, Vancouver. Make this 2-1. New York does have a little bit more pep in their step, don't they? Oh, Sumansu sees Meko creeping. Grav right in there. Grav should last longer than the trance, but they chain it into barrier. Hammer doesn't land. Bomb's coming out. That shield's really low from Mono. He's dead before the bomb explodes anyway. Nice. Bumper, no! Whatever. Nene's still there. Nene's no longer there. Let's keep it rolling. You're pretty off sync? Yeah, probably. Okay. New York, they've got the bomb, the rally, and the grav coming on in a little bit. Vancouver has the rally and pretty much nothing else. Okay, are they going to go high ground hard with rally? Yes, they are. Ooh, that's an interesting bomb from Meko. Twilight frontlined. Neat. Ooh. Yeah, I was going to say Libro's low and very punishable. Hoxel's just chasing Nene into the pit. Something. Didn't somebody say that Vancouver was going to pick Hanamura and then just dumpster the ever-loving fuck out of New York? Didn't somebody say that recently? I think somebody might have mentioned that that was a possibility. You don't remember that, chat? No, Haxel. Haxel, just this. I'm trying to make a point. Don't be a shitbrig, please. Damn it. Come on. No! I wanted to be smug. I wanted to be smug. Damn it. Scuffed predictions. Okay, it's okay. They'll do it next time again. Damn. I would have loved if I'd made that prediction and then it was a 5:30 cap or something like that. My goodness.
The Titans, if one of them goes down, they have a long way to run to get back to this point to keep that offense rolling. If you go down on the defense, you're coming back to life.
Woo! Fuck you, Jayne. Fuck you, chat. Okay. Titans coming up on a lot of ultimates. New York, this is kind of a neutral fight. What is Vancouver going to do here? They're really not the team that kind of likes to... Oh, whip shot into the pit. Unluck. This is awkward. This is not the position that Vancouver likes being in. This is probably the least... very... just strange. Both teams had no ultimate, so this was effectively a neutral fight on 2CP second, which is a rarity. But both teams, it kind of looked like neither knew how to react to the situation. And how in that ungodly pathing and rotation nonsense did Vancouver end up with such dominant point control? There was like 2 + 2 = 7. Johnny gets demeched. That was a confusing fight. Oh, I would want to watch that fight again and with comms to figure out what truly happened. Okay, New York's figured it out. New York's figured it out.
His self-destructing mech to keep them all away. You can't drop the shield and start swinging through. You can't really even be in position.
That was very weird fight.
His very creative use of that ultimate ability
Oh.
has been something of note today.
Definitely a standout. Well, I mean, this is the thing. You got 12 players who are elite here, Hex. I mean, this is
My nose is itchy.
why they are playing in the semifinals.
Okay, Bumper Shatter, Janu Bomb. Mono Shatter, Animo Barrier. So, like, just look at Twilight, man. Like, this is not a fun rotation if you're a support player. Like, just Vancouver doesn't like playing like this. They're definitely, it looks like they're out of their element. Twilight doesn't like being in those positions. Vancouver is taking full advantage of the positioning and the rotations that Vancouver's giving them. But then, like, still, despite this, like, really awkward position where they're fighting consistently at a disadvantage, some point miraculously they just, like, end up with point control. Like, what? I really have to figure out what is going on this map. Mano, no. I think we may have to spend halftime looking at this in a little bit more detail. I wish I had better information for you guys, but like that rotation that Vancouver is doing doesn't make sense to me conceptually, but it's working. Okay. New York on their attack. Vancouver not going for the Ana defense. They're going for the Zenyatta defense. Just PayPal Nanzer your last 3 salaries. You think I get paid? That's the real joke. You should refresh, quite far behind. You asked for it. Everyone in chat's like, no, it was synced.
Defensively, very standard composition for the Vancouver Titans. Reinhardt, Zarya, Diva,
1-0. Okay, New York, what are you playing? You're playing that scouting game. You're playing that scouting game. Okay. They have swapped to a composition I like to call Zenyatta Goats. This is a pretty good composition. You may have heard of it before. Oh. Oh! 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 Okay. Unlike Blizzard World, where they scouted the Ana, they do scout the Zen, and they're going for it the same way that Vancouver did. Okay. So who is the better triple? This is a triple, not a quad DPS setup. Interesting. Ooh, Twilight. That is not a... Oh, the peel is real. Do you see how many people from the Titans were like, "There, you don't kill Twilight"? On luck. Well, Vancouver not looking as good as against DPS as New York did. Bye, Haxall. Get out! I'm just going to do Semlerisms all day. There it is! Please don't. Get out! Okay. Just stay on this composition, New York. Don't change anything. Mercy Sombra Goats is definitely meta. Don't listen to Reddit. Are they actually staying on it? Oh, they're staying on the Sombra. Nice. Okay, so they're going to try Sombra Goats to break the defense of the Vancouver Titans. Interdasting. And they're pretty good DMP. Now, the question is it going to be for a singular fight that they keep the Sombra, or is it going to be for multiple fights? The wick is burning! Okay, point pressure. Who is point pressuring? John is going to contest. I assume it's Meko, just because I see Meko's ult charge going through the roof, and Jonu getting demeked for that contest. Slime killing Jonak, though. God, I wish I could like just fly around this game in third person. Okay. Meko, are you going to stay on? Nope. Unlucky. Okay. So they were only staying on because of the transitional comp between triple DPS and Goats. And now the Vancouver Titans have quite an ult advantage here. So we saw Vancouver's rotations. How is New York going to approach this point? Because if they approach it the same way... Ooh, a split attack. 5-1 split attack. Okay. Let's reset. Let's try that one again. That one didn't work out too well. Oh, poor Meko. Oh, poor Meko. Juked. Axel can't even land a whip shot on Baby Diva. What a fucking chump of a Brig player. Easy. That was a pretty good stun from Haxall. Can't even whip shot a Baby Diva. People think he's good at the hero. What a joke. Zach would have hit that.
Trying to go into this fight, and they can even take another eco push where they try to force ultimates out of Vancouver.
Sip. Okay. So last time it was a 5-1 split. What time are you doing this time, New York? God, it's such a risky transition. Now, just a straight up shatter, bomb into the back line, chance to keep momentum. New York's being forced off. So Vancouver a lot more aggressive into this transition than New York was doing, which makes more sense to me than what New York was doing. I don't think New York's reaction to Vancouver's pretty exposed transition was the correct response. Right. So, yeah, Vancouver Titans is handling the same rotation that New York is doing better, and it's causing the rotation to not work, which it shouldn't because it's super risky and a very hard rotation to pull off.
Very comfy, and now guess what? They have another grab online, Hex. So, can just rinse and repeat here and burn more valuable time off the clock for the New York XL, who are on that offense, who are feeling a bit of pressure.
It's really, really hard to call anything an eco push in GOATs when the fights are so long that ultimates are charged just so quickly. So eco pushes are rare, even rarer than they were previously. So no, I don't think that was an eco push.
3 minutes remain. Again, there are 2
Yeah, right. Eco push, but they used all their ultimates. It's almost impossible for an eco push to exist in GOATs.
If you were tuning in on ABC, we are going to be making that change on the channels. We will see you tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. PST, for the finals.
At least the ABC viewers got to see some of this Overwatch. Okay, New York, what are you going to try? Do the same rotation?
Twitch and ESPN app. We are live with the second semifinal of the stage 2 here, Overwatch League. And well,
Okay, where are you going?
1-1. Vancouver Titans versus New York XL, and New York XL going for the odds.
Here's an interesting play. A set bomb. So another 5-1 attack, but this time Meko launched it from the window. Very interesting. Cool little set play there. Didn't find anyone, but the Vancouver Titans did have to use Rally and Transcendence in order to stay alive. So now New York has a little bit more of a point presence than they've ever had before. Bumper's in the grab. Don't think he's going to survive. He is not. Twilight gets Nene, though. That's one of the things that like Twilight does so very frequently, is that Twilight's favorite, I want to say lunch, but then you guys are going to make more Vor jokes. Twilight's favorite target is like an exposed or an aggressive Zarya. He just loves punishing them and pressuring them, forcing them to use like personal bubble, and then just like dinking them in the head repeatedly until they back off or die. So other aggressive Zaryas, when they deal with Twilight, like Twilight will do that in the same way that other Zens will like try and poke out a diva. It's just Twilight is so confident in his mechanics, and he just really enjoys shutting down other Zarya. Ba-da-ba-ba. No, coaches are not allowed to talk to the players during the matches. Nice little flanky shatter from Bumper. This is the very, like, so, this is a much slower paced match than, for example, if you guys watched the stage finals between the Shock and the Titans, that match was very fast paced, but like, this is like the cool thing about the way New York is playing, and I understand that they're on attack here, so the effects of it are strengthened, I suppose is the way to say it. But New York is forcing Titans to play their game. Things are slower, they're grindier pace than Vancouver normally plays. There's the grab, doesn't find anyone. Sumansu's down. I think New York actually might get this cap. Can they stall it to overtime? An overtime stall here would be absolutely massive for the Titans. NYXL. 13 seconds is all they need. Grabbed off the point. I think New York's going to finish with time. Oh my god. No, they're not! No, they're not! Jono, get on! Jono, get on! 1-0! Overtime. Titans walk away with at least the draw. Whew! Whew! Grindy, sloppy map from both sides. There's no pretty way to contest or like attack that second point, but still, like, there's other more creative solutions that you could come up with, and like neither team showcased them. So I think Vancouver wins this. I don't really think there's a way they lose. It's 1 minute and 55 seconds, which is enough for a single full ult rotation on goats.
Possible.
So,
It's possible. We've seen New York
should be pretty doable.
so far up against the Titans. Not going to change any of their strategies, though. Now it's going to be curious to see if the Titans are like,
8 maps, all the tokens. All the tokens!
It's going to be extremely interesting what the Vancouver Titans want.
Yeah, so, like,
With only 2 minutes left, you have
I guess there's an interesting comment in chat that Vancouver doesn't like grindy fights, they like scrappy fights. So, in terms of, like, what that actually means is that New York wants to, like, play slow and control things. They want to move around. They want to, like, do very specific things. Where Vancouver is completely fine with just existing in pure, unadulterated chaos. It's two very different playstyles.
going full on damage.
Ooh, buddy, Jonak going to get a paint job there. Just got the body work
Okay.
messed up a little bit, but he will
Vancouver, you managed to make it work on Blizzard World. Make it work here.
NYXL has to respond to this, and now they're trying to just pick them off from a distance. As
Now this is gonna, like, are there enough separate sightlines here to justify the quad DPS over, like, the triple DPS with Ana? Like, I don't really think that this is going to be very easy for them to force New York out of this cubby in which they can use to basically perpetually contest the point. And the other thing right here, Jonak! Oh, boy! So the other thing that you wanted to be doing with your ball is, like, knocking people into kill boxes and being disruptive in that variety. But, like, where does Janu roll from and to in order to actually support and enable his DPS? Nene? So, I would have much preferred they just play goats here.
it's a huge kill from Bumper.
We have just literally sat on a Ferris perspective for like a minute.
trying to get into it as well. Jonak did manage to get the trade. And the Vancouver Titans are looking like they are going to
That is certainly one way to kill a mini diva.
final body left to get
Takes the victory by his lonesome as 3 final blows. The Vancouver Titans will take our third
Completely necessary, chat, okay?
lead.
Completely necessary. Let's ignore the fact that literally a rocket punch will kill them, a mini diva, in one shot. Let's barrage her. Amazing. Amazing. Oh, sometimes you just gotta be sure. Sometimes you just gotta be sure. Okay. What do we got? Vancouver's league best attack time on Rialto is over 30 seconds faster than the second fastest time. I think Fuel actually has the second fastest time on Rialto. I forget who it was against, though. Wasn't it Toronto we got the second fastest time? Anyway. We took like one fight at the corner of second, and Toronto or Vancouver managed to beat our time by 30 seconds. Okay. New York takes the first corner. That's a pretty big obstacle, honestly. Jayne, refresh, please. I'm not refreshing again, dude. It is what it is. Deal with it. Okay. Vancouver, no ultimates. Bumper's the closest. Jonak at 80% to trance, magically. I love Nene on the high ground, just forcing Twilight away. That's a fun position. I didn't even see him go up there all the way. Okay, here's the trance. I feel like I'm not watching it in 1080. It just feels so grainy. Mano gets bumper. Jonak drops. Use the trance, but it's gone. Suminsu, 2 kills with the same right click. That's awesome. Okay. I need to refocus and start actually paying attention here. Why would New York pick Rialto? That's actually a good question. That's actually a really good question. Okay. Titans got 4 ultimates. Vancouver's got 3 with bomb coming online soon. Bumper's just slowly backing up. They're trying to burn New York's resources away. Bumper's still low. Fire strikes being traded. No initiation so far. Libero very much could pop rally here. Meko could do a bomb play as well. They've shown to do that a couple times. But Grav is going to be the initiator. They're going to pin Bumper out of it. They do that same practiced execution grav pin play that they've been practicing. Janu's bomb gets one. Then they do push in with Meko, but that gets counter-grabbed. Sumansu actually drops because of it. Don't know if that was because he had already used his personal or what, but this should be going New York's favor unless Bumper pulls some crazy shit out in about like 3 seconds. Slime is looking for this boop. Slime is very much looking for this boop. Oh, that was so close. Oh, man. I'm pretty sure Mono just like skipped off the roof of that little underpass thing, which is the only reason that shatter didn't connect. But I was a Bumper, you just know that Bumper's like, I got shatter. And Slime's just like lurking around the corner. It's like, I'm going to go for it. Almost worked. Almost worked. Okay. Now this is also a tricky location. If the payload actually like stops underneath this next little overpass bridge walkway thingy, this is also a very difficult way to do or to get through. Oh, the pin from Mano, or the charge from Mano gets counterpinned. And then after that, they stun Mano out and take him down. And then he gets taken out, finishing blow a right click to himself. Okay, so this location, the payload isn't as far forward as it would be to kind of like be in the theoretical worst position possible for second, but this does allow Vancouver the option to kind of just like hold farther back and force New York to push the payload into basically a death trap, which I'm not sure if they're doing or not. Looks like they're doing a payload hold. What are they doing? No, they're rotating back to the high ground. They were just poking for ult charge. Twilight, pretty aggressive position there. Doesn't really matter at the end of the day. Vancouver dropping off the high ground. New York staying there. So New York's going to path to that window. Drop probably... or what is this? Wow. That was like so many different, you know... like I want to talk about what just happened. But like, this is kind of New York's thing. Right, this is the grindy playstyle where they want to have the opponents kind of be outmaneuvered, right? They rotated to the high ground. They made it look like they were dropping out window. I was convinced that was going to happen, but then they kind of like jumped on the back line and caused a surprise engagement with Vancouver kind of out of position. So in the like neutral fights, I think Vancouver's a little bit better, but New York is just allowing, or not allowing, they're forcing these fights to happen in situations where they have advantage. And like out-rotating a team requires pretty good knowledge of like scouting, like vision. And you have to fake quite a bit, especially because the opponent is going to be scouting your rotations as well. But they're doing it really well. They're doing it really quite well. Has Meko always used his bomb defensively? I've seen it almost every time in this series. I don't know, because this is the first time I've watched a New York match in full. But yeah, I completely agree with you that they have been using it defensively almost every single time. I also don't know, like, it's probably more likely in my head. In my head, it's more likely that they've been doing grav pins for longer, and defensive bombs are kind of like a reaction to the pins, for example. Okay. So they're going to be using Rally to push out of that choke, get them off the high ground. Vancouver didn't really have anything to respond with. The pin play right onto Huxel. So this is like the shit that Vancouver was doing to Dallas Fuel the first time we played, like over and over and over again. They were like, grav pin, grav pin, grav pin. And chat, who's the target in a grav pin? Chat, who's the main target in a grav pin? Quick, quick, quick. If you didn't say Brig, you're wrong. It's Brig. It's not Ryan, it's Brig. So yeah, Zach was just getting like utterly destroyed every time a grav pin came out. And people were like, lol, Zach's so bad. It's just like unfortunate, man. Oh, and then the response that I heard to that was just like, well, Zach, maybe, have you ever considered that Zach just shouldn't get graved? And at that point it was like, okay. Why is it Brigitte instead of Reinhardt? It's Brigitte instead of Reinhardt so that the pin will actually kill. That's the answer, right? So if there's a trance or a barrier or something like that, it is a lot harder to kill a Reinhardt than it is a Brigitte. So, especially if you can Discord the Brigitte, you have a large overkill. Even if the Brigitte has some like rally armor on her, a Discord pin will absolutely destroy a Brig like 9 times out of 10. It's way more consistent.
Not a lot of
Way,
teams
way,
are
way
going
more
for it.
consistent.
Struck in different ways, but that's one of the only ways I see them winning this fight. They get grabbed before they have a chance.
Yeah, oh, Micah just launches it, and he still finds a kill on Somitsu. Oh,
Echo finds Suminsu again. Isn't that the third bomb that's... Or Suminsu? It's second time in this fight Suminsu has died to a bomb like that. Interesting.
Day. The moment they get pushed on, Meko launches it in to try to get them away, and that time pulls a rabbit out of his hat.
unreal. Somitsu's going to be kicking himself. Now he's got to rebuild that energy. Can't quite apply the pressure to Mono's shield immediately. And now we're going to get the grabs thrown in here from Nene, hoping to capitalize. Rally and transused by Titans, though, hoping to just withstand the pressure, and they are doing a good job. So
Okay, last fight, Haxel's rally is about to expire. Libero already used his. Slime has barrier. That's pretty much the only ultimate here, which is going to give them a pretty hefty advantage. But Jonak's going to get close, especially if he keeps landing shots like those. New York playing slow. What is New York waiting for? Probably trance? Probably just some sort of ultimate advantage? Vancouver doesn't want to engage with Slime.
Why is Lucio not the best target? He effectively has crowd control with Boop, sound barrier, better ultimate, better damage, and ability to get team back out.
Bomb's coming out from Janu. Grav comes out as well. Bomb doesn't find anything. It's way far in the back line. New York's still pushing this. Hoxall gets Mano, though. Hoxall's still pushing forward. His rally's about to expire. Graviton originally found nothing, but Twilight and Janu felt bad, so they jumped in it. And that's going to be the cap there. So finished in overtime, but it's escort, so it doesn't matter. They will get a second attempt, so long as Vancouver Titans finishes. How do you pin one specific person into Grav? Just aim. And no, even pro Reinhardts cannot always hit the target that they intend. They didn't finish. You're right. I was just thinking, oh, never mind. Thank you, chat. Like, in my head, New York had such an advantage. I was like, oh, they obviously finished. I forgot that Vancouver did Vancouver things. Where are you going, Slime? Removing the high ground from Animo. Okay. This first corner is extremely difficult. I'm very, like, we still have to wonder why New York actually picked Rialto in the first place. So maybe they have, like, set defensive strategies here. In this corner, I could talk about this corner on Rialto for literal hours. Because I have, and we still didn't find the answer. But this area on Rialto right here is just so complicated. And I think New York, like, this is a situation in which rotations really, really, truly matter. It's almost 2CP in nature, this specific area in which you fight in this corner, which this area and the second part, like halfway through second, are two areas that kind of function similarly to 2CP in the requirements for rotations in order to be successful. There's the... Oh! Bumper goes for the pin on the Grav, but he gets booped away, which gives him long enough to actually shatter to find value. That's an interesting fight. This is kind of like... when we're talking about the evolution of GOATs and the innovation on how to win, this is the sort of thing that changes, right? So originally there was Grav Bomb, and then there was defenses to Grav Bomb, and now we're seeing Grav Pins, and now we're seeing defenses to Grav Pins. We're like, because it is so very, very difficult to actually... like, hit who you want in a Graviton, even if you are aiming for a specific person, it's super easy to get knocked off course by a Diva, by a Brigida Whip, by a Lucio Boop. You know, the fact that you're charging in the first place means that you're prone to being shattered or counterpinned or something of that variety. So it's just very, very cool to see kind of the boop into the shatter. Obviously, that wasn't intentional. Both of them were used for the same intention. They just happened to synergize. But still, cool things to look at. New York is being forced off, but so far they're holding this point pretty well. Vancouver has gotten past the point which was going to be difficult for them. Bad part, they don't have ultimates. Jonak has trance. Twilight's coming up close, though. Suminsu is going to beat Nene to Grav by about 30%, but I'm not sure if that's going to be enough, and Libero's rally might clutch in the later parts of this fight. Let's see how they actually play it out. Mano's got this shatter. Doesn't really... He's in no rush to win this. Another shatter to try and block that Grav pin. Bumper blocks it. Probably ult-tracked that correctly. Just a little bit of body blocking from Jonak, trying to make sure that Suminsu doesn't get too much ult charge on his next one. Hoxall drops. Hoxall dropped at 80%. There's the Grav coming out. Nene gets dropped to the ground as long with Meko. Oh, the pin from Bumper, if that had hit, that would have been disastrous for New York. The bubble's already out from Nene. Libero's won, and the barrier from Slime should be pushing them through. Okay, so the next challenging part, like, that was pretty decent. New York burnt a shit ton of time off of Vancouver's time bank. But, so yeah, I think that New York picked this map because of the two locations that they can set up very, very specific defenses. I think it's the first or the second corner on first and this staircase on second. So Vancouver hopefully removes this advantage from New York before they can take it. No, but New York is it wants to be here. Now that New York is here, if the theory holds true, they're going to have a specific play that involves this location on the map. Ooh, Jonak looking for it. He's already dropped. Transing to stay alive. There's the pin. It hits the Diva instead of anybody valuable. Gets the D-Mech, but it's not going to be enough. Bomb came out to try and remech, but he dies before he can. Uh-oh, Libero's in trouble. Unlucky. Libero just found himself a little bit on too aggressive of a standing. Jonak gets dropped, and with them passing that staircase, I think this map's going to go Vancouver's way. I think this map's going to... Jonak is also farming trans on this map super fast. He has been all series. Like, there was like one first fight where he got to like 80% before anyone else crossed 50. Jonak's playing very well. Bam. Ooh, counter shatter. Big. Janu! Janu gets 3. Beautiful. Can't wait to see the replay on that one. That goes low. Gonna get dropped. Okay, 3 minutes to defend. Rialto third, not even a full cap. Okay, New York, if you pull this off, you have my respect, but honestly, it does not seem likely. Sumin Su's got this grab. Both support ultimates available for New York. Slime's got barrier. Negate one of those. No Earth Shatters of relevance right now. Early grab. That's a very, very Sumin Su thing to do. Right? Bumper's grav pin, he got booped out of the way and he missed the grav pin, so they survive. Grav pins, another reason why grav pin is so popular is because they have a very, very high success rate despite defensive support ultimates. Twilight doesn't even need trans for that one. Yep. 3-1. Chat, you still doubting my 4-1 prediction? Still doubting me, chat? Hey. Winston goats for Vancouver. Okay. They're in dojo. New York is trying to stabilize here. Ooh, Bumper. Oh, got him. There it is. Sorry. Yeah, but this is Vancouver. 5v6 is their normal state of being. 5v6. Good. A fair fight. Yep. There's fucking Haxel rallying 5v6 to fight a neutral. And a grav. They force the trance out. God, I hate you, Vancouver. And the primal. Goodbye, Jonak. Oh, boy. Are they going to get mono? Oh, he's got bubbled at 1 HP. No way. That must have been literally at 1 HP. There was no health bar remaining. None. 0. Exactly none. Never say never. God, Vancouver's willingness to fight down 1, down 2, and just like, we're down 1, but I have an ultimate. This fight is not lost. Forward, my friends. Okay. Bomber's on to the Reinhardt. It's probably a bit of a better play to match. Okay, here we go. Libero's got rally. Barriers are matching. How are Vancouver going to do this? Ooh, nice little fire strike there. No fire strike for you. There's Libero with the rally. Mono's in trouble. Barrier is going to be matched with barrier. Jonak has trance. Twilight has trance. Both trances will probably be mirrored here. Twilight isn't using. Oh, now he uses. Okay. Was he stunned? Animo's down. Meko drops the bomb for defense, but there's going to be 2 kills before that bomb goes off. Libero gets taken out. Vancouver takes the point. Apparently, Meko is just bullfighting. Here, bumper, bumper, bumper. Oh! You thought I was there. Ole! Ole! Oh, man. Okay. What does Vancouver have on the defense? They got a shatter. That is 1 shatter more than New York has. Are we going to see Boop plays? How is Jonu going to play this? How is Slime going to play this? Slime's looking for Boops, but it's kind of hard to hit it in this position. Is there going to be speed shatter from Bumper? I feel like there is. He's going to see Mano peek to one side, and then he's going to speed shatter the other side. And they also just really don't care, because every second that New York doesn't force them to... Fucking called it. Fuck. Oh, man. Okay, Huxley gets taken out. Grav gets thrown out. Trance gets thrown out. The Shatter's down. They get up. They have Barrier. They're going to chain into Barrier. Fucking Vancouver, man. And the Hammer fights, too. Jono's using the bomb to survive. Gets the remake. Oh, Bumper dies anyway. God, Vancouver. It's just like... I hate watching them. It's just like... Losing? Time to use ultimates. And it works! That's not how this game works! Stop it, Vancouver. Stop it. They still haven't lost this fight yet. This isn't allowed! You can't keep doing... They can't keep getting away with it! Chat, they can't keep getting away with it! How? How? How did that happen? They were down 2, and they just used ults off cooldown. They're just like, what's this button do? It's just like, blows my mind. These fights make no sense. They just see the shiny thing appear at the bottom of their screen and they use it immediately. Ult economy, I have been living a lie. Ult economy is the largest lie ever perpetuated top 500s to keep plats down. Don't listen to their lies, chat. Ult economy is a scam. Just fucking use that shit. Just use it. Proletariat will rise. We will get our SR back. This just got a whole lot more communist in here.
No shock for the Titans, no change in the meta, but this is match point now for the Vancouver Titans. If they lock this down, they are going on to face off against the finalists.
Eat the rich. Okay, I wasn't paying attention to this rollout, which is too bad because this is one of my favorite maps for rollouts. Unlucky. GG, go next.
But yeah, it's the follow-up. It's the follow-up from Mono. They're
Oh.
still figuring it out. Mono's still trying to hang in.
Mono just getting bullied. Unluck, dude.
Support necessary from his teammates.
I just want to... There. Stay on this camera. Don't change, observer. Where is Meko? Where the heck is Meko? Oh, in the skybox. Of course. Why didn't I look there? Johnny pushing in. Oh, tried to go for the bomb. One of the... Oh, my goodness. Vancouver does this play that is so clean. It's so clean. It makes me tingle every time I see them do it. Man. Slam. Got Meko. I'll talk about it later. New York gets the first cap. There's Rally coming out. They get Mano. Trance coming out from both sides. Both barriers should be coming out next. Who's going to be using it first? It's going to be Animo. Jonu bombs the backline. That's not going to find anything. Nene's going to get the energy off of it. Okay. Mono is back, so this is now an even fight again. Bomb coming in from Meko is Sumitsu! What are you doing? Nice. Okay. New York at least making it even. Sumitsu, use your bubble or take cover. Forehead. I'm silver and I know how to just not die to a diva bomb. And they call these guys pro players? What fucking chumps.
What do we got to work with here on the side of the Titans? Not a whole lot. They got some work ahead of them.
Just don't die to the bomb. Just stand behind a wall. How hard is that? There's a grab from Nene. Nene's definitely been grabbing a lot more aggressive and earlier than the last time I watched him. Counter shatter from Mano keeps him up. They're going to use the trance from Jonak to push. What about Vancouver? Vancouver still has Twilight's Transcendence. Suminsu low. They are going to push with it. There is a pin. Mano's taking bumper on a wild ride. Slime in trouble. Meku gets demeched. Bumper does die. They got Twilight. Like, they got the point flip, which is nice. So that if and when they lose this fight, they'll get a second. Why, Jen? Like, out of all the fights that were possibly lost, this wasn't a 5v6 or a 4... Slime is ulting 2? You were literally down 3! Vancouver, please!
Bumper goes for an aggressive shadow, gets knocked away. NYXL flips it back near an 80% here on our second point.
They were literally down 3! What? I would have a firm talking to if I was coaching Platts and that happened. Ooh, Nene with the flight grab. Yeah. Down 3. Our fight will be legendary. Okay. Pretty even. There's Meko's bomb. Suminsu's gonna yeet himself into it again. Unluck. Mano gets died. Gets died! Yes, Mano gets died. Perfect. In the New York State of Mind, that was a pretty good quip from Mr. or Hex there. Okay! He got dead! He got deaded, chat! I appreciate the Vancouver Titans making this exciting. He has become unalive. Dun, 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 dun.
These small choke points after you do so. I'd be surprised to see either team gamble with a variation here. Vancouver Titans, this point away from a rematch of the stage finals against
You have this. You have a severe case of the not living. Do you guys know that dying is bad for your health?
As they're giving the Titans everything they can handle.
Okay, here we go. Just one of you kill yourselves and make it an even fight. Come on, Vancouver. You don't need all 6 players. Make it more exciting. Just charge right in there, Bumper. Go deep. Real deep. Make it interesting. Okay. New York taking the point first. Oh, man. Oh, Vancouver's got a lot of low health bars there. Johnu gets demeched. That's not going to make the health bars any higher. They are in a severe danger of becoming dead. And as we have recently discussed, getting died is bad.
Well, there we go. NYXL first control, 11% and counting.
Strong lack of life present in the Vancouver area.
They are definitely struggling on these control points here for the Titans. Not exactly going their way.
They've been super close. Transcendence up for both.
Okay, Vancouver. Rotating on the high ground. Now, this spot is always like... So they drop aggressively, and New York's like, nope, I'm out of this courtyard. Back to point. Okay. Okay, I can respect it. I can respect it. Mono, ooh, that was a really good bubble from Nene and a really good action. Like, Mono got so many people with that hammer swing. Twilight's trancing. Who's the charge going to land? Who is winning this? There's the pin. See? 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 Case and point. Bumper pinned Mono. Who is still alive? Okay. Until now, who was alive? You guys saw it. Grav pin onto the Reinhardt. No bueno. No bueno. He stayed alive. He did not become of the death thing. I wag my finger. Oh my god, if that right click had landed. Okay. I was ranting and Vancouver won. Like, what? They literally messed up their play I make fun of them to chat. I turn back and they're controlling the point.
And the retreat happened
I give up!
Vancouver now has taken control of the point and a very good position in the
Hi, Harry.
economy as well.
Okay, so Vancouver's holding the courtyard. Last time... Okay, so Vancouver is not New York. I know this might be a revelation to you.
No shock as someone who had the grab.
It's the graph. You gotta love it. You have to love it if you're a Titans fan.
There wasn't a support ultimate. It doesn't count.
Right there.
It doesn't count. It was on the Reinhardt, but there wasn't a support ultimate. It wasn't on the... There was not a support ultimate. It doesn't count, chat. You keep that mouth shut. You keep that mouth shut. No support ultimates. Doesn't count. Nope. Nope, doesn't count. Okay, Mecha Bomb coming in.
Trying to set up a shatter self-destruct does not happen.
Libero.
Doesn't get any
Okay. Things are even. Where are we at?
in retreat.
Libero's going to be coming up on his barrier. New Vancouver's going to have to make some sort of play here. Ah, yes. Oh, that actually landed. I thought Mano blocked it. Pushing through. Twilight Trans, Jonak counter trances. Onimo's still 10% away from that barrier. He's going to want that one, especially when Slime's barriers comes out. 75%, 10% away until its final fight territory here. Mech is so low, it's down. Bumper's low. He gets an armor pack, and Mono tries to commit onto it. Bumper gets a shatter. Is that going to be enough? I think it is. Jonak's just getting two-timed in the courtyard. Unlucky, he's down, and this is final fight. Okay, they are going to have a contest, but it's going to be a scattered one. Mano's got a hammer. Who's going to touch? I think Meko can touch. But he doesn't have bomb. Yo, what? Touch. Nope.
Vancouver Titans go
It's it.
to the stage finals.
Get clapped.
Rematch after all, and the Titans, they've done it 4-1 over the New York.
Man, it must be hard to fight a team when it's only even when they're down 3.
But they will not be going the distance.
The prophecy. I called the 4-1.
They fought the Titans about
Called it. Literally called it on the fucking nose. Now we got to go make fun of Shane.
one step this way, one step that way. I have a feeling
It wasn't a 4-1, it was 1-4. Ah, you've got me again, chat. You've got me again.
stage playoffs, but all credit to the Vancouver Titans
Hey, Shane, how do you feel?
in this series.
Sucks to suck! Okay,
Play across the
that's done.